Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I am a master manifester, and I'm sure you are too because you're watching content like this. The name of this channel is Holistic Manifesting because it takes a whole mind, whole being, and whole body experience, whole person in order to manifest these lives that we choose, right? What I'm discussing today, and it's going to be quick, right? The importance of walking away from debates. Sometimes, right? Sometimes when you get caught up in conversations with people and you start to share these ideas, you realize you get to a point where there's a real fundamental issue that you all see very differently, right? I am really good at walking away from this on a regular basis all the time. I do it in work and workplace because this is the thing. When you think the way that I do, or you think the way of manifesting the life that you choose, and kind of like being real thoughtful about the approach you take and all that, and it's not just, oh, I should get married now, I should have kids now, I should buy a house now, I should, you think more deliberately and intentionally about your life and the one that you want to create, you're going to disagree fundamentally with a lot of things that people are doing, saying, or being, or having, or the ideas. And there's nothing wrong with the way that anybody is thinking. You're just going to disagree because your base is not based from a scarcity or a fear mindset or not getting it right. Your base is on, I know I'm not going to get it right according to a lot of people's standards. I'm okay with not getting it right, but I want to not get it right so I can eventually get it right for myself. I want to see all these things for what they really are, right? And so when you're in this process and you're starting to do a spiritual development, spiritually awakening and all that kind of stuff, I always figure these little people or these little incidents, they come around as tests, right? It's not even like a real interaction because you're so far outgrown these interactions, but for some reason, this interaction at such a low level is put in your face. It's like when you've completely outgrown a certain thing and then you find yourself confronted with it, like in an environment, and you have like almost no reaction to it. And if you step away for a second, you can think like, man, like 5 years ago, I would have had a huge reaction to that, but like it didn't even hit the radar, right? And so there are several things that you know you've outgrown. And sometimes I have made the assumption that because I see other people at a certain level, but this is what I tell you. You can grow with people. And at some point you will, if your lifestyle and your mindset is to continue to go higher, always looking for a higher level of understanding, thinking, and always looking to take the high road in life and to be righteous to some degree. And it's not like being perfect, but it's always like, man, what's the best decision I can make in this particular moment, right? What's the least emotional decision I can make? When your mindset is always hopped up in that area, you're inevitably gonna run into the moments where you have people around you that have stopped, right? Because a lot of us come from that. We have people that were teachers to us for a long time, but for whatever reason, they stopped growing and looking at the highest ground, and they got stuck on some fantasy or idea that works in their life. And I've seen it with people with black stuff, like they're evolved and they can work for their highest good and have the highest mindset until you bring up something related to race or ethnicity. I'm like, dude, if that's your mindset, then all of this is included. And I've seen people do it until you bring up something related to gender, and then all of a sudden the highest mindset goes away. What we have to remember is that our highest mindset has to be applied in all areas of our lives, right? We can't have one area where we're just saying, well, not that area, I don't like that one that much, I don't want to do that one, right? Nah, I still think, race and ethnicities, there's a superiority there for some people. Like you can get caught up in that and think, oh, some people are chosen, some people are not. And you can go on and on and on about that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, it's not the highest level of thinking, and there's no getting around that. Politics is not the highest level of thinking. War, whatever these people are talking about, it's not the highest level of thinking. Now, we can dip down to have these conversations, but you have to know when to walk away from a debate. And I was very grateful at several times when I was having this discussion. I was like, this is so far beneath me. But the points were so easily being made, but what I realized is that when the most logical and most thoughtful points are being made, when a person can't see it, it's just going to go right over their head. And they might call you a year from now and say, dang, you were absolutely right about that. You know how many times people have come back to me years later, months later, and said to me, that thing that you were talking about, it's not me that's right. It's higher level thinking that's right. And so you might put that on me, but I'm just a person that wants to be a vessel for that kind of light in society, that kind of light in the world, right? And so people kind of stick it on you and say, you think you're better than you. I'm not thinking. There's a higher level of thinking, a higher level of being that's better than all of us, that we all should be striving for in any given environment, right? If you talk to Christians, they'll tell you it's Christ-like, right? If you talk to somebody, that's in Buddhism, they'll tell you it's Buddhist-like, whatever they call it, right? It's like there's always a higher level of being that we're all falling short of on a regular basis, right? But to intentionally fall short of it, that's just another thing that I lose respect for people when they do that. And I'm like, you clearly see that this is a low level way of thinking, but you're sitting there because you think it benefits you somehow. And I think that's just a lack of accountability. And there's no reason to have a respect for those kind of conversations. But nonetheless, be able to let that kind of stuff subside and be able to check in with yourself while you're listening to somebody and think, I'm observing. This has nothing to do with me. I'm observing. This has nothing to do with me. And I was sitting there thinking while the person was talking, I'm observing. This has nothing to do with me. And then I just, allowed it to go to dead space. I allowed the debate to go to dead space because I realized there's no way this is going to end. Agree to disagree is very rude to people. They don't like when you say, let's just agree to disagree. But you just have to just pull back, pull all the way back, right? Pull all the way back, right? Because this is something, and it's a good reminder right before the holidays. You're going to be around family if you're going to do that and all that kind of stuff. Don't allow that low level thinking to drag you in. Don't allow that low level thinking to get you into debates that are useless and nonsense. You can clearly see the results of people's lives about how they think and how that's working out for them. People that don't have all their stuff together are the quickest ones to get into these kind of conversations, and you will waste your time. Because not only are they not valuing your background and your intellect and what your mindset understands about what they're saying, they're not even valuing any truth because the delusion keeps them safe. And I believe in delusion when it comes to going up, but I don't believe in delusion when it comes to going down. If you're deluding yourself into thinking you're up and you're really doing low level, I don't believe in that. But the delusion of, I can be great, I can make my life work, I can be successful, and other people look and say, what makes you think that? That delusion is good to me. But the delusion of thinking that something you have is unvaluable and you're thinking it's more valuable than what it is. And you're just like, this is nonsense. Anyway, learn how to walk away from debates. It will disturb your energy. It will disturb your space, and it will waste your time. Because I looked up and there were so many other things I wanted to do. And I was like an hour into wasting my evening. And I woke up in the morning annoyed that I didn't get to do all the things in the evening that I wanted to do because I sat there and babysat that stupid conversation. Stupid conversations, and it's like that is such not a part of my life anymore. And I just, when I sit and do it, I'm just like, I feel like I was 12. It's like, what am I even talking about? It's obvious you're wrong, and this is useless. And so evidence right in faces, in moments, the evidence of the lack of rightness in the moment was showing up, and this was ignored. So just know that. Be able to walk away from debate, to be able to go in the other direction, because when people want to see themselves as more valuable or something is more valuable than what it is, they will go down fighting like a dog to prove that to you. And it is a waste of time because you already see the proof of it. You see the life. You see it every day in your life. You live in the world that they're discussing, and you see what they're discussing is not even true because you actually live in the space. Anyway, don't want to go there. Nonetheless, learn how to walk away from debates and learn how that being in your mindset, people are going to want to challenge you because people really want to be sharpened. They really want to be opened up, but you don't have to do it. It's not at your expense. They really want to bang their ideas against someone to see if they hold any weight. And they know the ideas don't hold any weight, but they just really want to see sometimes. But you don't have to be the depot for that. You don't have to be the person that sits there and listens to a nonsense argument. You don't have to be the person that makes everybody feel good about their mindset. If you don't agree with it and you know that it's nonsense and it's low level thinking, be okay with walking away. Be okay. And just know that, find your outlets, go write in your journal, go talk to a friend, go do a video on it. I'm really good with that. I always tell people, don't come kicking up dust in my life. I'm going to write about it, and I'm going to make a video about it because, hey man, it's my life. I'm the leading character. And when something is amiss, I'm going to discuss it. Have a wonderful, I try to keep anonymity though. I'm really good at anonymity. So usually the only people that know that I'm mentioning something related to them are the people that who know exactly what the interaction was, and it was only between me and that other person. So I never sit here and go, and then they said, and that's not my goal. But I'm gonna use real life situations because it just works so well. Because no matter what you do, you can't make it up. People will prove this stuff to you over and over again. And it's constant, 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 constant. And what you have to do is be able to retract, pull that energy back because they want your energy. It's like an energy vampire. They want your buy-in. They want your belief. And if you don't give it, you're going to keep going in circles. Anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day on purpose. And don't let anybody drag you into any nonsense debates.